Hey everyone, it's Stephen Puglisi. I just wanted to do bit of a new thing today and actually talk about the weather in a video and through a PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to do this quite a bit more, but obviously with COVID going on, it was a bit difficult to get back into the swing of things. I've done this kind of thing before, but this is the first time in a year or so, so I do want to get back into doing this kind of thing. I used to do it for West at school for really 3 or 4 years. So I just wanted to uh, take the time to practice this and hopefully inform you a little bit about the weather, especially with what's going on coming up this weekend. All right, so let's begin with a look at West Hartford. We do have primarily cloudy skies today. It could definitely get a bit better. I think you will see some peaks of sun in the afternoon, but really I do expect today to be mostly to completely cloudy at times with, again, that chance of a rain or snow shower. So again, my goals for this, I don't want to get rusty. Again, I did this for 3 to 4 years at WestCon, and I hope to get back into doing it soon in terms of being in front of a green screen, but this is certainly good as well. I'd like to just inform everyone about the weather. I'd like to do this most weekdays moving forward. If there's a big storm, I definitely would do one on the weekend. We'll see if I need to do that this weekend. It looks quite possible. Right now, we are in a seasonable stretch of weather for Connecticut in early December. Flurries, showers today, very likely. I don't necessarily think they will be a big deal, but definitely don't be shocked to see a snowflake or a raindrop out there. And then, of course, all eyes on the big weekend storm that's coming up in just a few days. Now, in Hartford at 11 o'clock, we had a temperature of 41 degrees, a dew point of 26, with wind out of the southwest at 13 miles an hour, mostly cloudy skies. This type of weather should continue throughout the day today, with, again, that chance of a small risk of a mixed rain or snow shower. And here we go with that today. We should see temperatures, depending on where you are in Connecticut, between 40 and 50 degrees with wind out of the southwest at 10 to 20. Mixed showers and seasonable conditions overall. And then tonight, nothing unusual for this time of year, right around 30 degrees, I think, for most people. Clearing, seasonably cool, and wind out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, before we go into exactly what's going to happen this weekend, I'd just like to do a little bit of a generic talk about these coastal lows and why they're so hard to forecast. Well, here's why. If we get a track of a storm that goes like that, it's all rain. If we get a track that is more like this, then the storm completely misses New England and we get absolutely nothing at all. And if it goes between the two, it ends up being a major snowstorm. And in fact, in order to get a really significant snowfall around here, you pretty much have to be either right on that dot or very close to it on either side. And that makes the forecast very challenging because the difference between the place where the marker where it's all rain and the marker where it's nothing at all is about 150 miles. And that kind of a small area is very tough for computer models to nail 3 or 4 days out. And so even though it's not that far away right now from occurring with this storm coming Saturday night, Sunday, the uncertainty remains very significant because a shift of, as you can tell here, 50 to 75 miles makes a huge amount of difference. And let's take a look at basically the two possibilities, because there are definitely still two possibilities on the table. And why is that? Well, right now the models are taking the storm track about like this. That's almost perfectly between the rain and snow tracks, and that makes this a very difficult storm to forecast, because then if it were to do this, the track would be significant, but it would also depend a lot on exactly how the storm behaves and a lot of other factors that are very tough to really pick up on. So what are the two possibilities overall? Well, a track towards the west or just not having enough cool air would result in this. A very heavy rainstorm, gusty wind, moderate temperatures. Generally, everybody would see 1 to 3 3 inches of rain. Someone unlucky might get 4 inches if they get into one of the heavier bands of rain, and this would be nasty and unpleasant, but nothing unmanageable. On the other hand, if there is enough cold air or the storm tracks further east, we have a much bigger problem, because this would mean a widespread outright blizzard for much of New England, except for possibly the immediate shoreline. This would be a very strong northeast wind. You'd be talking, wind easily 30 to 40 miles an hour, gusting to 50, and up to 2 feet of snow in spots. So there's a huge difference between these two possibilities, and the difference is very, very small in terms of the meteorology scale, and yet for us and the way that we experience the weather, it is hugely significant. All I can say now, though, is we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll have an update tomorrow to see which is more likely. Right now, the models seem to be favoring the rain, but there are more showing the colder solutions now than there were yesterday, so we just have to keep an eye on it. I'm Stephen Puglisi, and I hope that you have a wonderful